Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. And just when I thought the rain has stopped for a while, I started working on the truck, started removing things like the hood and the fenders, and now I gotta cover that up so it doesn't get wet. But on this episode, we're not gonna be working on the nose swab because I'm still waiting for the brackets to come in from McNasty's, but we're gonna be working on the dash swap. So this episode is part one of the dash swap. All right, so for now I had to cover the nose up because I don't have the hood or anything. So, I mean, I had the hood off of the other truck, but in order to put that on, I gotta finish the cowl. But anyway, so this is just easier and quicker to do. So while I'm still waiting on the McNasty brackets for the front, I decided to go ahead and start working on the dash swap. So those of you guys that remember, I did the interior seat and carpet swap because this truck was a farm truck. The guy had a dog, so the dog was, with him all the time. So it was pretty bad. I'm going to put the link to the interior swab down in the description if you guys want to check it out, if you guys want to see the whole process of me removing the old seats, carpet, all that stuff. So check that out down below in the description. And then so now it's time to do the dash swap. So I'm going to have to remove that stick first, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove the front seats anyways, just so I have more room to work in over here. Maybe I'll remove the column so it'll be easier to remove the dash, so it'll be not as heavy. You can actually remove this whole dash with the steering wheel, everything intact, without removing any of the panels. Just remove a couple bolts here, a couple on top, and there's one somewhere on the bottom that connects the steering column to the shaft that goes to the gearbox. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the seats and the console in the center here, remove the stick shift. I'll probably just remove the column just so it'll be a little bit easier on my back. I got some little bit of back problems here, so it'll be a little bit easier for the dash to be a little bit lighter. Also down in the description, I'm gonna put a couple links of dash removal and install from McNasty Customs, and then one from King Shaka Customs as well. He did a pretty good video on removing these old dashes, and then he also has another video for the newer dashes removal, and he shows how to remove it completely without really removing anything else. So it's going to be, it's an optional thing, honestly. I mean, it's a preference if you want to remove a few panels to make it a little bit lighter, or to give you a few points to grab a little bit easier. That's up to you. It takes a little bit longer. I'm going to go that route. I'm going to remove a few things that are just going to be in the way a little bit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pop the dash out. I'm not in a hurry, so I'm gonna do what kind of feels more comfortable for me. And Matthew, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna tell me what you're gonna do? Or you're just gonna sit there and look pretty? Okay, so what are we doing here, Matthew? What am I? Okay. If you're just gonna sit there and look pretty, what am I gonna do?
We're gonna remove the bolts there and there and there, and then we're going to remove the dash.
Really?
Yes.
And you're going to help me?
Yes.
Okay, well, hopefully I don't squash you. Before we're going to get the dash out, I'm actually going to remove the kick panel and the seal panel right here. And then there's a bolt, I think this side or the driver's side, maybe both sides. So this thing has to come out. There's a bolt that holds the dash over here, I believe. And there's two here, one here, or I don't remember. I think there's one here, maybe one here. But let's go ahead and start removing stuff and get a few bolts and get this done. All right, Matthew, you ready? Let's go. So I unbolted the dash, all the bolts. There's 3 on top. Those 2 are 8mm, and this one is a 7mm. I don't know why Ford did that, kind of weird. There's 2 on here, 10 and a 10. And then I unplugged all of the plugs right here. There's a ground, about 4, 5, 6 plugs right here. Disconnected those. I disconnected the gas pedal. I gotta disconnect the e-brake really quick. And then there's another bolt that was kind of mounted right there, 10mm. I removed that with the short socket, and then also the steering shaft bolt, I removed that. I did want to remove the steering column, but I couldn't figure out a way how to unplug this because this harness actually ties down with the dash harness. So I could remove this one, but this one is super tight. So I'm assuming to remove this, I have to remove this whole clock spring mechanism with the steering wheel. Kind of weird, but I decided to go ahead and just put it back in for now and remove the dash with the steering wheel and steering column. And as I'm pulling things off, there's going to be other plugs in the back that I'm going to have to disconnect gradually. So I'm going to have to kind of pull it off, disconnect, pull it off, disconnect, and then it should come out. There was one thing that I forgot to disconnect, and that was the main harness from the truck. On this, on the driver's side right here, on the 01, the harness is right here, and I have to unbolt. There's like 3 bolts that I have to unbolt from the inside the engine bay, and because I forgot to unbolt it, I kind of broke this little top bracket part, but it's not a big deal. To unbolt the harness, it's that piece, that big cube right there, and there's 3 bolts that hold it in place, but to get to it, it's kind of a little bit of a challenge. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and figure out how to unbolt those 3 bolts from the engine bay, maybe underneath the truck somehow. I'll get to it. It's a little bit tight, but once I get those unbolted, then I'm gonna go ahead and pop the dash out, and then we'll see what we got. All right, so after removing the wheel wells, this is the 3 plugs that I have to unbolt, and that should disconnect the dash harness. And also I went ahead and removed the intake, and you can access the pins and the little bolts from this side too as well. So I basically had to access the pins from the top as well to kind of push it in, but it can be done from bottom or the top. And now that I have it unbolted from the engine bay, I can actually go ahead and pop that out, and it's good to go. And I made sure I got the e-brake disconnected. There's a couple wires in the back that I'll have to disconnect once I pull the dash out more. And what I decided to do is actually put the dash back on a couple bolts here, because after I got home from work at 2 in the morning, I looked at it some more, and I did realize that I can go ahead and unplug the harness from here by removing a screw here and a screw here. So that's actually unplugged now. This piece is like a C bracket, I guess. I thought it was actually a complete circle, and that's why I thought maybe I need to remove the steering wheel, but after looking at it some more, it's basically like a C type of a bracket, and that comes off, and then I was able to remove this plug. Otherwise it's kind of blocked in here and you can't remove it. But now that I got that removed, I'm going to go ahead and remove the steering column, and that's going to make things a little bit easier. Alright guys, so I removed a few more things that I just felt like why not, especially the glove box. I think it would make more sense to remove it because you can reach a couple of plugs from inside the glove box, so you don't have to struggle to getting them from behind the glove box, from behind the dash, trying to reach in here and disconnect that one and this main plug. Also went ahead and pulled off this panel right here. Fairly easy, there's no screws, no bolts, no nothing, just gonna pry it and it'll pop out of these little square holes in here. And then I removed the cluster, just so we have more room here to grab if I need to. And then I went and grabbed my harnesses that were underneath the wiring, and I just kind of shoved them to the front. And this is the one that plugged in where it had the 3 bolts on the firewall, so I pulled that through so nothing is gonna get caught on the bottom here. You don't have to do all this, especially if you have somebody that's helping you. It's kind of awkward and heavy, but because I'm gonna pull off the dash by myself, I figured why not just make it a little bit easier. And one more thing is the radio antenna cable. That's another thing that's plugged in to the harness. Well, it's not really plugged in, but it's gonna give you trouble if you're gonna be pulling on the dash. Push that in there, and there we go. And there's 2 more plugs that if you have, for example, a clutch truck, then there's a cable that goes right here to the clutch pedal. That needs to be unplugged right there. So we got that one right there that plugs to the pedal, the clutch pedal, and 2 more right there, if you guys can see that, those right there, and that goes to the firewall harness. Here you can see that it goes to the firewall, so there's 2 plugs right here. Last harness that's kind of behind here at the bottom here, that goes to the, what is that, I think it's the SRS module, airbag module. That's the last one to get to, which you can probably get from the bottom underneath the dash. Glove box, you can get those there. Pretty much everything you can unplug from the front, with the exception of removing the glove box. Alright, and finally the dash is removed, and that's what we got. So just to recap, the most important 3 plugs in the back: this one, this wire, and to this module right here. This one can be reached in from inside the glove box after the glove box is popped out. This one can maybe be reached from kind of underneath here, but that's a little bit tight. So maybe this one is the only one that can be reached from behind. I haven't tried it, obviously, because the dash, I didn't know about it until I actually started removing the dash. These can be reached also from underneath where the steering column is. That's pretty much it. And then don't forget to remove the e-brake cable, and then the main harness plug. Some trucks are different. In my case, there were 3 bolts, and then it unplugs, snaps out. On some trucks, like I think the newer ones, you have to actually fish them down, and there's plugs inside the engine compartment. But on this year, that's how it goes, and it's a little bit easier, so you don't have to fish things through the firewall. Other than that, it's just a heavy piece, and it's kind of awkward trying to grab it. That's why I decided to go ahead and start moving a few panels here and there, so it'll be easier to grab onto things. And here's the old dash next to the new dash. It's gonna look a lot nicer. Now I gotta start prepping the new dash. Now, in order to install the new dash into the 7.3, the vent system has to be kind of redesigned a little bit. So I'm waiting on that kit from SwapHelper.com. Once that comes in, I'm gonna go ahead and install the vent system right here. So that's gonna be in the part 2 episode of the dash swap series. So once that comes in, we'll get that done. And by the way, I put this dash on a scale and I put everything on, like the glove box, steering column, the cluster, and the panel with the radio. And the scale showed me that this dash is 115 pounds. So I mean, that's a heavy little piece, awkward, and it's big. So if you're gonna be doing it by yourself, just know that it's a little bit heavy. If you got help, then it shouldn't be that big of a deal. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this episode. Part 1 of the dash swap is finished. So we'll see you on part 2, either dash swap or part 2 no swap, depending which kits come in first, and then we'll get them done as they come in. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you're new, please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.